Everyone in Willow Creek knew the Blackstone mansion was haunted, but no one warned Emily Carter that the ghost she kept seeing wasn't a ghost at all. It was someone alive, someone watching her, someone who had already killed once, and was falling in love with her next. The full story. Emily Carter didn't believe in ghosts. Not when she was a kid, not as a grown woman, and definitely not when she arrived in Willow Creek, an old American riverside town where even the wind carried rumors. But she needed a fresh start, a new place, a new life away from the ex-boyfriend who had almost ruined her career and her peace. So when she found a listing online for the abandoned Blackstone mansion, offered for cheap rent by the county for restoration purposes, she jumped on it. A giant Victorian mansion, 120 years old, huge wooden rooms, ornate staircases, and a long history of strange sightings. Perfect for a historian like her. Perfect for someone starting over. But the moment she stepped through the front door, she felt it. A cold breath against her neck. Even though the house was empty. Emily ignored it. Until nightfall. The man in the shadows. The first night she heard footsteps upstairs. Slow. Careful. Deliberate. She stood in the kitchen, frozen, whispering to herself. Old house, wood shifting, that's all. But she knew the sound of footsteps, and these footsteps weren't random. They were pacing, back and forth, back and forth, as if someone was waiting. The next morning she tried to laugh about it while buying coffee at the local diner, but the old lady behind the counter didn't smile back. She just whispered, "You moved into the Blackstone place?" Emily nodded, confused. The old lady leaned in. "Then don't stay after dark." Her eyes, clouded with age, trembled. People who hear footsteps in that house, they don't usually hear much else after. Emily tried to shake off the warning. Old people, small towns, superstitions. She wasn't scared. Not yet. The mysterious stranger. That afternoon, while cleaning the dusty library, Emily found a man standing behind her reflection in the mirror. Tall, dark hair, sharp jawline, a long coat. She spun around. No one. But on the dusty floor, footprints. Large, fresh. She felt her heartbeat jump. Someone is here. But she forced herself to stay calm. She was alone. She must be imagining things. Still, the prints led to a hidden corner of the library wall. A panel was slightly open. She tugged on it, and it slid aside, revealing a narrow secret hallway. Dust. Cobwebs. Cold air. But something else, too. A faint smell of cologne. Not old. Not 120 years old. Recent. "Hello?" she called out. Silence. But for the first time, she felt watched. The ghost who wasn't a ghost. That night she saw him again. A shadow of a man standing at the end of the hallway near her bedroom door. She grabbed her phone light, lifted it, and the figure vanished into thin air. Her heart pounded. But then, she noticed something strange. The hallway window was slightly open. The curtain was still moving. Someone had slipped out. She rushed to the window. Outside, the backyard fog made everything look like a horror movie. But through the fog, a silhouette walked away into the woods. A real person, not a ghost. She whispered, trembling, Who are you? Chapter 4. The romance begins. With a lie. The next morning she met him. He wasn't a shadow this time. He wasn't a ghost. He wasn't a hallucination. He was real. Standing in the library doorway, looking guilty as hell. His name was Adrian Blackstone. Dark hair. Deep eyes. Handsome in a tragic way. He looked like a man who'd been through nightmares. "I didn't mean to scare you," he said. Emily stepped back. "You were in my house, at night." He raised both hands. "I'm not a criminal. I'm inherent to this mansion." Emily froze. "This house belongs to my family," Adrian said, "and I never left." He explained what the town never told her. The mansion wasn't truly abandoned. Adrian lived in one of the sealed-off wings, in hiding, because he believed someone was trying to kill him, the same person who had murdered his mother 20 years ago inside this house. Emily knew she should run, leave, call the sheriff, but something in his voice, the exhaustion, the loneliness, the fear, it pulled her closer. The man was haunted, not by ghosts, but by trauma. And somehow, she wasn't scared of him. She was drawn to him. Dangerously drawn. The history they never taught in schools. They spent hours talking. Adrian told her the mansion's darkest truth. His mother had been found dead in the basement when he was 12. The police said it was an accident. Adrian knew it wasn't. He remembered a man's silhouette that night, standing over her body, holding a knife. A man whose face he never saw. A man whose footsteps he still hears in his nightmares. This house still has blood in its walls, and whoever killed her wants the mansion back. Emily felt shivers, because now she heard footsteps too, and she didn't think they belonged to Adrian. The growing attraction. Days passed. Emily and Adrian slowly fell into a strange rhythm. Morning coffee, looking through the mansion's old archives. Afternoon repairs, laughing together despite the fear. Evenings, the two of them sitting by the massive fireplace, sharing their life stories. Emily couldn't ignore how safe she felt with him, how his presence filled the loneliness she had carried for years. Adrian, on the other hand, kept trying to pull away, guarded, wounded. But the more he resisted, the more he softened around her, until one night, he walked her to her room, stopped at the door, his voice low. "You should lock your door tonight." "Why?" she whispered. "Because someone else is in this house." Emily's breath caught, and just before he left, he looked at her with a tender sadness. "I won't let anything happen to you." It wasn't a confession, but it felt like one. The secret room of death. Emily couldn't sleep, so she went exploring the hidden hallway again. With a flashlight, she found a staircase leading down. Old, wooden, creaking under each step. She followed it into a basement room she had never seen. And there, on the wall, she saw dozens of scratched markings, dates, names, and in the center, a note pinned with a rusted knife. "She shouldn't have brought you here, Adrian." Emily felt her stomach drop. Who wrote this? Who could get inside the mansion? Who knew Adrian still lived here? Suddenly, footsteps behind her. Slow. Heavy. She turned, terrified. But it was Adrian. He looked pale. "You shouldn't be down here," he said, voice shaking. Emily lifted the note with trembling fingers. "Someone is threatening you." Adrian stared at the knife. "No, Emily. They're threatening you." That night, everything fell apart. Emily woke to the sound of glass shattering downstairs. Adrian burst into her room. "Stay behind me." They ran into the main hall. The front door was open wide. Cold air rushed in. And in the center of the living room floor, a single object. An old, blood-stained locket. Adrian's mother's locket. The killer's message was clear. "I'm back. And I'm inside the house."